Hey y'all. Fingers crossed. Third time is the charm. Um, I decided to re-record because the last one ended up being almost 20 minutes long, and I also feel like I overshared. So we're gonna redo it, change some names, cut it down. Alright. Also, before we get started, happy birthday to my great nephew. And also today is the year anniversary of one of my uncles passing, my tío Mariano. Thankfully, I was able to see him in 2019. I had plans to go see him in 2020, just 2 months before the time that he passed. But that all went to shit because of, the pandemonium. So, I wrote something for him at that time, and he was just such a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like his wife too. She ended up passing away a few months after, which it really it wasn't totally a surprise, just because both of them have had long-standing health issues for a long time, and even when I saw him 2 years ago, it was so bad to the point that it looked unbearable. The poor guy could barely even drink water. On top of that, in DR, healthcare is you can find great healthcare, but sometimes, most times, you end up having to travel a long distance just to even get it. So that's a hassle in itself, and that's what happened to him. So just wanted to throw that out there because I'm thinking about him, and that's pretty much it. So, all right, let's give this a go again. So, July 19th, 2001, Dear Journal. Well, yesterday I didn't really feel like writing, although I did run into Carmela. Carmela got into an accident, but the good thing is she's all right. I asked her if she's still with Andy, and she said yeah. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm glad that they're still together. They do make a cute couple. So they are the same age as me, but because I started school, in a different place, a different state, I was a year behind. So I was in 7th grade, they were in 8th grade when they first became a couple. And when I asked if they were still together, this was already a year plus later of them officially becoming a couple. And funny enough, about this guy, I had a crush on him too. And I think him and I started talking when they were on a break or something like that. I really liked him, and unfortunately, what ended up happening was, he ended up getting back with his girlfriend, this girl, so we stopped talking. And it sucked at the time because I really liked this guy. I never got to see him again just because his mom suddenly passed away and he moved away abruptly. So, even when you move a few towns over, it's almost oh man, I'm never gonna see this person again, Different time, remember, this is, early, or infancy of the 2000s, so there's that. Funny enough, I ended up getting to meet up with him in the past year. So it'd been almost 20 years since I saw him, 20 years since I saw him. It started out okay, but it didn't end well. I feel like he just was not kind towards me, and he ended up ghosting me. And funny enough, he ended up reaching back out to me after he ghosted me 3 months after, literally right after I had made my page private for professional reasons on Instagram. And then he went and texted me, and it was just a couple of sentences back and forth, but I'm like, oh, the fuck out of here, you know what I mean? To me, I'm all the way good. I'm all the way good. And speaking about this couple, they got married, they had a child together, and from the sounds of it, it did not end very well at all. Another funny tidbit about this is that my brother used to date her sister. So there's that. I could say more, but I'm gonna respect my brother and not blow his shit up. So we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving. I know they really care about each other too. She told me Marigold is still cheating on Rob, and that now she's saying she has a thing for Andy, which is kind of crazy. Like, why would you tell your friend that you have a thing for her man? Because they were like each other's like first love, like first like everything, as far as I know, to my memory. So that's just like mad messy and shit. Yeah, it's just messy. And now, you know, she's married to a woman, so there's that. And moving on, I understand that Rob's first girlfriend. Oh, I understand that was Rob's first girlfriend, and he loves her, but that's not right, and he can do so much better. Well, besides all that, I finally went to Jersey today. I ran into a few people, which I did not remember this visit until reading this. So, so even like all the previous journal entries that I was saying, like leading up to this, I was like, fuck, like I don't remember this. And then when I read it, it kind of jogged my memory a little bit. All right, so I ran into a few people, of course. I went to Johanna's crib. God damn, she looked mad different. She thought the same about me. I even went by my old crib and I ended up naming 4 different addresses. I'm not gonna name them just because privacy. But that goes to show you, I didn't live in Jersey for too long out of my life, but it was long enough that it left its, you know, print on me. And I still like occasionally go back just because I just have such fond memories of growing up there, you know, and I guess nostalgia, whatever. But I only lived there for maybe like less than a decade or a decade tops. And meanwhile, I'm listing out 4 addresses here that I lived there, and there were more. Like, I was so used to constantly moving all the time that was just the norm. It was like, oh, okay, we're moving. Like, I would pack like way in advance. And that's not good as a child, you know. Obviously shit happens why we had to end up doing that. I'm probably gonna have to do a separate video about that experience just to dig into it a little bit more, but that just goes to show, like, yeah, I moved around a lot. I think the longest I ever even stayed in one place, okay, the longest I had ever stayed in one place was this one house I lived in out here in Long Island, and that was maybe like 6 years. But other than that, it's been like 3 years tops. So yeah, it'll be interesting when I finally live somewhere for longer than those time periods. Okay, getting back. I went to Candace's crib. Oh man, she's a straight up tomboy now. And it's so funny for me to say that because I was one of the biggest tomboys in school, so much so that these 2 girls made up a rumor that I was a dyke as a kid. And imagine being called that, and it's like you're still trying to figure out who you are and all these things. And needless to say, I was crying on the playground. Because at first, like, I don't even think I knew what that word was. It was like hearing the follow-up, the story tied to the rumor that upset me. So yeah. Whew. But yeah, this girl, like, I remember she always, you know, like her mom always had her like out here shining on these hoes. Like, she always had, you know, the fresh, like, I don't know what you call it, like hairdo, but she always had all the barrettes and, you know, the Vaseline on the face. You know, she was out here. Her and her sister. Which, speaking of which, her sis got a little taller. And people used to actually think that they were twins. I think that they were Irish twins. And it's possible they were also in the same grade as well. Because when you always thought of the one, you thought of the other one. So, or either they were in the same grade or like one was always close behind. So there's that. I saw Danielle, but she ain't see me. So when I wrote this, I was on Palisade Avenue in Englewood. And I thought I saw Danielle, but it wasn't Danielle. Who I saw was Claudette. And Claudette and her sister were essentially what we might call like granola people. Like, they, you know, I'm pretty sure they were mixed race, but, you know, these 2 young girls, just very like like natural hair, like you know, used to dress very granola-ish, like all the things, like nature people. And I wouldn't say that they were like a part of the popular kids, neither was I, but I don't remember them being a part of the popular kids or something like that. And later on, I don't know if it was MySpace or something else, but yeah, like I think her and her sister became like models or something. They like beautiful, and they were always beautiful back then too, but I'm talking about transformation, like OD, unmatched. So yeah, I saw Shakeen and his little bro, but they really ain't changed. And speaking about Shakeen, I don't know why we got into this argument, but we were in the same like daycare center. We were probably in a summer program when it happened, and we got into a fight. And he like lifted me up and swung me around and threw me. And like I remember like nobody even got involved. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like this dude is like beating me up. I wonder if he remembers that. I'm not gonna ask him, but I wonder if he remembers that, because I do. I saw Ophelia, Anna, and this other chick I once knew. Also, just as I suspected, Ophelia moved. So Ophelia was one of my close friends when I was little, and I wonder if it was because my mom never let me chill with anybody. And so she was like the only friend I was allowed to go to her place, and my mom like knew her mom and stuff, and we did like a church program together and whatever. I always felt like an outsider for so many reasons, but one of them being is that I'm not Colombiana, so that was another thing. And all the kids I was hanging out with in the church group were all, you know, Colombian kids. But yeah, yo, like, I remember when I found out she was getting married, I overstepped. One of my other friends, you know, kind of pointed out to me how I did. Essentially, I kind of was like trying to invite myself, because I knew it was like something small and not as like formal, not as big. And regardless, like I missed her. I wanted to see her. And yeah, like she just was kind of like telling me without telling me, like, I don't really want you to be there. And I just kept pushing it, and I didn't understand, and I got upset. But now I'm like, totally get it. That's your special day, and that was not my place to try to push that invite on her. And the back and forth afterwards, like it was inappropriate, and I realize that now. So yeah. Okay, I went to, what should I call this guy? Let's call him Taryn. I went to Taryn's crib, but I don't know why. Which is funny. When I was 5 years old, right in front of this kid's crib, because my aunt used to live next door to them, I got hit by a car. Right on that same, like right across the street from this kid's house. And now, you know, this kid is, you know, and it's funny because a lot of times you see kids' personalities, and a lot of, like, that's who they are. Like, that's who they are. And this being one of them, like, this kid was always just, like, very, like, sociable, like, this, like, you know, shiny, bright star and all this stuff. And he's killing the game out here. You know, he's got a successful business, very much into fitness, very admirable, very inspiring. So shout out to him. And his parents were always super sweet and very present. Like, when you thought of him, you thought of his parents, which is huge because there weren't a lot of people that I can say the same about. But I distinctly always remember his parents' like presence. So there's that. And I kind of feel bad because his dad tried to friend request me on Facebook, and I didn't know who it was. So I denied it because I didn't register who he was at first. But now I do, and it's too late. It's too late. All right. Let's see. Oh, I don't know why I was gonna go to Angela's crib, but then I was like, nah. So Angela, I don't know how that happened. I think she was born in another country, but like, I don't understand the additional year, but I'm pretty sure she was like 2 years older than all of us. So like, I don't know what happened there that she ended up being in our grade, but you know, she just stood out. Like, she was just like this, like, tall, really pretty girl, you know, social butterfly, like, and we were cool. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, like that was yo, and I remember a distinct fight with her, and I do have a journal entry about her and this girl Lauren, and they fought on the playground, and Angela like grabbed her hair and was like dragging her ass on the concrete. So yeah, but and she's another one too. Like she's married, she's got beautiful kids, she's still gorgeous as ever. So there's that. And it's funny because when I used to go to her crib, I used to go like sometimes in the morning before school, and it was wild. Like she had this like really pretty girly room. She had her own like computer. Like that was not really like who had that back then. Not where I was from. Like both her parents were present. Her mom was like gorgeous. You know, she had a little brother. And then I used to watch music videos on her kitchen TV before school. And I distinctly remember watching the Busta Rhymes shit. And possibly Usher, you know, they call me U.S.H.E.R. And the shit with Busta where he's like running and shit. So yeah. All right, so woo, went on a rant. I wanted to make this one shorter, but I guess there was too many gems in this, too many gems. Then I bounced. I cried a little because part of me wanted to stay and part of me wanted to move on. A part of me will always stay in Jersey because I grew up there. My mom didn't want to move either, but we did. That's that. So my mom had a bad habit back then, and I can't say it's really changed, but where in her mind it's like, oh, well, you know, there's trouble. So if we move, mainly with my older brother, if we move, it'll be better. And that's not how things work. So we moved all because of that. I always wondered what my life would have been like if I would have stayed there. Really interesting. Because to this day, like, it still holds like this like strong hold on me to the point that I still go back periodically because I miss it. So yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh man, what is up with losing your virginity shit? With this with this losing your virginity shit. I finally spoke to, I'm not gonna say her name, because I'm not even gonna make one up. Let's see. I finally spoke to blank today because she told me Chris tried to put his dick in her twat. I don't know why I kept saying that word. It's just so gross, but whatever. But it hurt so much she told him to stop. She says she ain't lose it, but I told her once the penis enters the vagina, whether it was completely in or not, that is considered sexual intercourse by dictionary standards, whatever. And once you have sexual intercourse for the first time, that's it. You're no longer a virgin. Meanwhile, I can't even spell virgin correctly. I'm staying prude and abstinent, and I can't spell that either. Like, who, bitch? Who do you think you are? Like, what? Shut your hoe ass up. But who knows? Maybe I'll learn how to kiss next year. That was a big one. It's like, when am I going to learn how to kiss? When am I going to learn how to kiss? And it definitely didn't turn out the way I would have wanted it to. So, big letdown. Well, till then, bye. There you have it. And I tried to do this before midnight. Big fail. All right, well, it looks like I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, share with me. Let me know if you're enjoying these. I'm definitely thinking about going back and making a lot of these private. It's a little much. It's a little much. And I pretty much know, I'm still like social media friends with like almost all these people, so that's a little bit concerning. But yeah, share your thoughts, share your experiences if you're open to it. This is all good and fun. I'm trying my best to change people's names and shit like that, not put people out there, so just remember that. Alright, y'all, I'm about to peace out. Good night.